Okay, welcome back. This time we're going to be playing Fenrir in the jungle. Fenrir can be done in the solo lane. He can be done in the support role as well because of how his kit works. And for the most part, he is an assassin with a lot of burst damage, but mainly sustained damage that can come out with his brutalize, which you'll understand what I mean in this game going forward. Now, Fenrir is very auto-attack focused, and in the later stages of the game can have a few issues with trying to get in there because he's relying on his auto-attacks to really deal damage, to cause some issues to the enemy team, as well as his abilities keep him very pinned against targets for the most part, or very, very short-ranged. So, as we play this one through, you'll see my sort of game plan and what I choose to max in this game. It might not necessarily be the same you max in every single one of your games, but it's a little look at him as a god and his abilities and how you kind of combine them together, or you can potentially combine them together to deal damage and bring down kills. It might not be a win, it might be a loss, we don't know, because we're playing this live as always, and you never know how it's going to go, so I might feed like crazy like I usually do, or I may have a crazy jungle game where I carry. So, things to talk about first of all, let's go through Fenrir's abilities. Fenrir's ability number one is going to be unban runes. Fenrir's efficiency as he attacks. Every basic attack, I get an extra rune. When I've got these runes up to full, you can see these runes here. Every auto attack that connects with something will stack a rune. When I'm at 5 runes, all my abilities will do an extra effect, which we'll come to now. So we're going to see Unchained is the leap ability first of all. A lot like a lot of gods, he's got a leap in that deals damage. The difference is that if he has his full runes, he will stun the target for 1 second that he jumps onto. The damage potential is pretty good on that ability, as is the scaling, but you're not necessarily going to be maxing that one too early on, as it's generally your escape or your engage. Searing Howl is the second ability. It gives you a physical power buff and physical lifesteal buff when you proc this, and it also gives you, it lasts for 6 seconds as well. So the extra power you can get for that is very, very effective. You normally can see you maxing that second sometimes for the lifesteal, and also for the damage potential that you can use on your Brutalize. Now Brutalize, what this does is it latches you onto an enemy. You can see where it'll latch to. It's got a bit of a distance on it, and you'll latch onto that enemy and proceed to do multiple basic attacks to them, and the attacks will do decent damage, as you can see, and it'll also, remember, if you use Searing Howl first, it'll deal damage plus the bonus that you're going to get on the scaling there as well. So you mainly want to max Brutalize first for the damage and the latch potential of bursting down targets. If you do this on a minion though, if the minion dies and you've still not finished your attacks, you'll just stop attacking. So you want to make sure the minion doesn't die. And when you have 5 stacks with this, you'll do this. AoE damage. Instead of just single target, latching onto the target, you'll stay attached to the target. I don't know why she's that up close to me like that, giving me a kiss almost. You'll actually hit multiple targets instead of just one. So if you're not looking to try and use your auto attacks to stack up your passive, at level 2 I'm probably just going to put a play my jump in case I need it. But I'm looking to auto attack the minion wave down now, get my passive stacked up. If we get the opportunity to in the lane, not scared of trading really a little bit here. Hopefully Hal will change stance and use a heal soon. There we go. Talking about that. If I could land my jump, I would have landed a stun then, but I've missed that twice now, which is very unfortunate. But then, Hell's very, very aggressive and easy to pick up a kill upon. I'm going to stay for one more wave, I think, here. It's possible for a damage potential here. I'm going to pop this mana pot now. Somebody blocking me! And so I'm going to max Brutalize first, and I've got a point in each. Now the lifesteal from this, when I pop this, helps me to sustain a little bit more. Maxing this second gives me super sustain, and it increased by 50% if I've got a full combo up of damage. So I'm going to rotate mid lane, farm up here for the most part. And the last ability we talk about is Ragnarok. Now what this does, it makes me into a giant CC immune wolf. One day I'll land a leap. I don't know why I've missed every single leap, but Ragnarok, it turns me into a giant wolf that can chase down a target and bite a target. And if I actually manage to bite a target, it's going to deal a lot of damage, and I actually pick them up into my mouth to cause an issue for them. Didn't appear my teammates wanted to go aggressive then with me, so I'm just going to have to play that a little bit more safe than I wanted to. So you can see that Fenrir's actually got a lot of sustain in the jungle for the most part. Because of Bomber's mask as well and the Brutalize, he's very easy to jungle and easy one to get along with to begin with. His wave clear in the jungle, pretty strong, as you can see. Brings out minions quickly. And the important thing is trying to land that stun when you've got it available for yourself. I'm actually going to miss mid-harpies here, but I really need to base, unfortunately. Let's get beats 1 online as well for ourselves. Might as well pick up a ward and a mana potion. Ah, forget it. We were late for the mana pop. It's okay. So your ultimate makes you CC immune and allows you to pick a god up in his mouth and move him around. You get increased movement speed with this, and you'll also carry the target for 2 seconds, so you can pull them into a really bad spot, or hold them still so your teammates can snipe them and cause a big issue for them. Fenrir's. This Sobek hasn't really thought things through very well. I'm going to keep going aggressive here. I'm not sure why he didn't charge away, but he didn't. Now what you saw me try and do there was use my ultimate. Actually beads a bit prematurely then, just because I was a bit worried about the aggression coming out. I'm going to go back into the jungle now, use Seething Howl here to heal myself up. A little bit more. Using the bombers as well. Hopefully Ra can heal me in mid lane again. That wasn't the best engagement from me, honestly, in the mid lane. Uh-oh. Don't step in the portal, Hindu. That's going to hurt. Quickly have to return to base again after some terrible decision making from me. Now the reason I didn't use my Brutalize straight away on the Sobek, as you saw, is because he didn't use his Charge Prey. I was kind of waiting for him to use his Charge Prey and then chase afterwards. I was really confused then why he chose to do that. So I was being a little bit more patient and waiting for it, and I was actually popping my 2 for the lifesteal. Sometimes you can pop the 2 to give you the increased power and then pop Brutalize because that power will affect it as well. I'm pretty sure we can look at trying to steal away this buff, as I've got ultimate available as well. And if not, we can definitely take the blue. I'm just going to leap over. Oh, I can't leap over. Oops. Should be able to. Just choosing bad pathing. Speed buff is available, so we're just going to steal this one away quickly. Stealing the speed is good, and then we can steal the other buff as well. If they come over, we can fight. And he beats that, as you can see. Beats does stop you. I didn't really want to leap then, but I kind of had to leap to get myself out of taking that damage in case he got that snipe off. But we do pick up the kill there. Oh. Got Ton? No, he's not got Ton. We should leave now. So we got a lot of sustain on our team at the moment. I'm actually considering, because of the amount of sustain, I might not max this second. I'm thinking about it still, but I don't necessarily need the lifesteal because my team's protecting me enough. Make sure you try and use your Brutalize on multiples at the same time. You can see me focusing the big god overall. So the big buff in the camp, not a big god, to make sure I can bring that down. Now builds will always change, just so you know. Builds will always change. They're never going to be the same every single time. And builds will change as time goes on, but the general playstyle of the god is the same. You're looking to engage for your team, pick someone up in your mouth if you can. But your full combo really should be leap onto them for the stun, and then pick them up in the mouth so they've got no real escape. If they've got beads, and that happens sometimes. But you do a lot of damage as Fenrir in the jungle. You're not very tanky though, is the one thing you need to remember. Even though you are a melee god, it doesn't necessarily mean you're tanky. I was hoping that Ra would rotate over here then, and he didn't, unfortunately. Now, with different combinations of gods, you've got Ra, who's very aggressive. Oh, what are you doing? Well, he got away, but this one's not going to. I'm going to wait for him to try and jump out. Uh-oh, mistimed. I mistimed my leap then. I tried to outplay myself for no reason. I didn't need to do that. That death was unfortunate and stupid of me. I could have just actually just jumped away. I was trying to make sure that when he exploded from the wall, I was going to be in the air so I didn't take the damage. You can try and avoid the damage that way. Instead, I misplayed it. Like a bit of a fool. So that's my first death of the game. It could have been avoided. Which is the main thing I'll be looking forward going forward now to make sure I don't die again. Stupidly careful left. You can see there's amnesia coming from my Medusa. I won't be over there in time to really stop anything, so... So make sure you stack up with your auto attacks before you try and go for a gank. Abuse the fact that you've got 4 on there. What you can do as well is actually... Land 1 or 2. Oh, I'm just eating free poke for free here. I'm just going to eat, so I don't want to take more of them out. Taking free poke like an idiot. What you can do is leave it at 4 runes, jump onto the target to get in range, auto-attack them, and then after you've auto-attacked them, you can hit them with the Ragnarok or the Brutalize for the full damage. I'm really getting focused all the time, thank you. There's a fight going on left, I'm going to have to rotate there in a second, which I'm going to do now. Giannis might try and rotate for this as well in a second, so I'm going to be ready for Giannis rotating.
Your right tower, an ally has been slain.
I want to rotate. Okay, Unstable Vortex is down.
Detection drone deployed. Help left lane. Enemy ultimate damage.
Just going to stay in the heal for now. I'm not trying to go overly aggressive right now. Stacking passive again. We can look to try and go aggressive again if we want to, but Harpies are up in the middle lane. Their speed buffs up as well. Unfortunately, nobody else was with me, and I went overly aggressive again. I actually thought I could have picked up a kill then. Oh, we got the kill anyway, which is good. The snipe came out. I'm playing a little bit too aggressive for my own wallet here. So Fenrir is an engager. He's looking for counter ganks as well as ganks himself. He can just go aggressive. I keep picking up Sobek because I'm currently missing all the other gods mainly. And generally I don't really want to go for the Sobek. But if you can pull him back into tower range is what I'm looking to do. If I get an opportunity with the Ra to go aggressive, you'll see me actually reposition myself with that. To make sure I just stand still so Ra can snipe them for free while they're held in my mouth for 2 seconds. Another point of context as well is that you technically have 2 escapes. Because you can actually use your Brutalize as a little bit of a mobility gain if you need it. You don't necessarily have to, but you can use it to get the mobility going for yourself and get a little bit of distance between you and the intended target that's after you. Reposition yourself. You can't actually jump over the walls with the Brutalize, but you can cause some issues. The problem for him this time is I was ready. And I actually chased him over the wall with that. Oh, attacks are good.
Take this jungle buff. Take this jungle buff.
Just going to call Ra over to this left-hand side now for the red buff as well. What I'll do is just show you this Brutalizer's way, because yeah, just leap forward like that. You can just reposition yourself, get a little bit of distance between you and your target, use it defensively as well as offensively, even if you need to close the gap. Because if you actually use it to close the gap, it can cause some issues.
Becoming stronger.
Waiting base for mana. While I'm waiting for mana, might as well get beads 2 online. There we go.
Enemies incoming right. Lord the Gold Fury. Enemies have returned left.
A pretty good game so far for a Fenrir game. I've made a few mistakes though where I shouldn't have really died. I'm keeping an eye on the minimap as we do this. I've not really had to help solo lane out at all, as Hell's doing a really good job against
Your middle tower is under attack.
that Aphrodite who's just destroyed, so I'm trying to support mid lane and the duo lane a little bit more, who are struggling. There's no reason to defend Gold Fury yet, it's going to take him a while to do it, so I can do mid camps first before we rotate over. Oops, put him at 1 instead of 2, that was a mistake. Notice how I'm actually clearing up minions first before I do anything else. Oh, he's going to take me up in the sky, but when he lands, he's probably dead. If you do get a kill, you can force out beads there for starters, which is okay. Getting that heal, boy. If you do get a kill, as it says here, enemy kill gods that Fenrir kills fully activate his runes. So if you get 1 kill, you can jump in again and get a stun off. We could potentially do the Gold Fury here, but that seems like if it picks, it seems. I don't think we're going to find any. Oh, I got sniped again. I am making some silly mistakes in this game. So that death was really silly. I actually jumped away with my barrage, as you could see. But it appears my team wants to fight every time I'm not there, which is really unfortunate for me. Maybe I'm just going too aggressive at the wrong times. We do pick up a double kill. Gold Fury is available, hopefully. With the amount of healing we've got, they realise that. There's so many of us alive. We should be in a good position to do this. I'm going to quickly jump over here.
Nice job.
So Gold Fury goes down. We're still looking for farm as always. I keep only playing aggressive against this Giannis. I've just got to be a bit more safer, I think. Overall, he's very mobile. He's a very good god against a Fenrir just because he can mobile himself through the jungle, away from damage. You have burst potential, but you can get yourself caught in a bad spot if you're not careful.
Been slain.
Enemies incoming middle!
Retreat middle lane. Sorry. Your right tower is under attack. No problem.
Just going to rotate for the blue buff now. I was trying to counter gank middle lane after Giannis got a kill, but unfortunately I'm not going to find it. I can do this blue buff though quickly.
Enemy missed. Be careful of that. Okay. Completed. Enemies have returned left. Take left. Enemy missing left. On my way. Enemy spotted. Ultimate is ready.
Oh, that beads was terrible. I actually beads thinking that Nijar was going to go aggressive, and she didn't, unfortunately, so... Well, my team's here this time round. And that's how you bring somebody back to the team for snipes. with the amount of sustain we've got, we can go aggressive like that. In the mid lane, you can see me diving and actually bring back the target to the team. I went for Giannis, pulled him in, the snipe hit. That's kind of what you're looking for. Your teams are going to try and group up with you and do it. It wasn't the best Fenrir game in the world, I'm sorry to say, but you can see what you're kind of trying to do with his abilities. Use the Brutalize to do damage. Pop your 2 beforehand so you can get extra power off, but use your 2 for lifesteal as well. And try and make sure you've got your runes available to leap in and get a stun offline.